All right, hey guys, welcome back to Crochet and Chaos with Coffee.
I have mine.
If you don't have your coffee yet, go ahead and get one. Melly has hers. I got my beverage. And it's not coffee, it's water again. I need to hydrate. I will drink coffee, I promise. Anyways, I'm Lily of Fiber Lily, and I think we said we weren't going to do that, and that's too bad. And opposite me is Melly. Hi, Melly.
Hi. Well, it's been a minute, so we don't always. We're busy. We're busy women. Okay, we don't know always what we did the last time. So if there's crossover and there's repetition, you guys can just laugh at us and go, "Oh my God, those two old senile women." Lord,
we should do that. Grannies. I think for me too, it feels like I have to reintroduce myself every time. I didn't say it last time, and for those that don't know it, I am an occupational therapist, and I work in mental health, and I run groups for the majority of my job, which means I am always introducing myself. Yeah. So I don't go into group and say, "Hi, I'm Lily of Fiber Lily on Instagram." That's not appropriate. But I usually tell, what my title is and whatnot. So it fell out of my face, and
it's
I'm
okay.
Move on now.
So I like it when things fall out of your face. It's usually creative and usually inappropriate, so it's fun. As she said, I'm Melly, Melissa. Melissa feels weird in this community. I don't think that's my identity in this community.
Melissa.
I can't do it, Melissa. When some people do it, they'll still call me Melissa, and I feel like I'm in trouble or something. Like, that was my name for 38 years of my life. It was primarily what people called me. And then I got in this community, and everyone's like, "Oh, hey, Melly. And I'm like, "Oh, that's who I am now." And it's literally 90% of the people call me that. So it's what we do. And my current drink is, as always, coffee. But I do drink water occasionally. I'm usually better, but wintertime.
As long as it's mixed with coffee.
There is water in coffee, and I will always stand by that. If I mention it in every episode, I just want to encourage those who are addicts to coffee that there is water in it. Don't let people tell you it dehydrates you, because that is kind of a lie. It just makes you pee a lot. Just keep replenishing and you'll be fine. All right. That's medical. Okay. That's medical advice. Don't sue me.
Good Lord. Coffee is dehydrating. We're going to move on. How are you? How are things? How are things really? How are we doing?
How are things really? Oh, things have been emotional lately. Not to be too real, and we don't want to get too down in the dumps, and I don't want to get too in the stories.
I think authentic is important.
Authenticity is important. My dad did pass away last weekend, and that was of course rough. I do want to say I'm not an emotional wreck at this moment, so people don't think I'm a horrible person. That my father was really sick for a couple of decades, like pain all the time and everything. So while it's very difficult going through something like that for us, we do have a peace in our hearts about knowing that somebody who was living in pain 24/7 is no longer feeling that every day. So, but it's still been, it's an emotional week, and we've got a lot of stuff I'm trying to help my mom with, and but we're good. This community is something I thrive around people. I don't thrive going into a shell of myself. So for me, this is being, talking to you. I talk to Lily, y'all. I probably talk to her every day. I would say we text probably every day. She's in my she's in my pinned people. So
shucks. Or at least exchange a reel of some kind,
Yeah,
there's
communication of some sort, So I thrive on that communication with people. I think it's been good that everybody doesn't just constantly remind me of what I'm going through, although all prayers and thoughts and love are appreciated. So it's been an emotional week, but it's been a good week otherwise, and it's been creative and just enjoying the groups, the mat group that's, we're always ending and starting a mat group, I feel like. So how are you? How are things this week for you?
I am feeling scattered in a good way. I have so much going on, which is not unusual for me, but it does mean that my follow-through tanks. But I'm so excited. I'm excited to be doing the podcast. The fact that we're, doing our second episode now is really fun and exciting. I've got multiple crochet projects. I've got a cute little crochet group with some of my coworkers. That's been so much fun.
I've been seeing that too. That looks
that popped up organically, and I love it because I jumped into the Instagram crochet space a couple of years ago now, And I just, the friends that I've made through that space has been great. And that's, the purpose of our episode this week is the crochet community on Instagram. But I'm constantly saying things like, I wish I had crochet friends in real life. And I do. And it's amazing.
That's amazing.
And it's just so fun to, get together and get some good food and sit and stitch and hang out. And so, yeah, chaotic, but good. Finding the moments in the chaos to settle down. I'm not good at resting. I like to stay busy, but like also, busy doesn't mean out of the house busy. It just means I have a zillion projects going on.
Sometimes busy is just your mind is being really busy. Yes. And I think that could be an episode all in itself of learning how to not be busy when you really can't help it. It's hard to turn it off and distract yourself. But
I try to remind myself. I saw this quote online at some point. Rest is productive, and it doesn't always feel it. And sometimes I just need to have that kind of in my head when I'm pushing myself to rest and slow down and not keep go.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I'm doing.
Well, I mean, you're talking about like projects and stuff. I constantly have stuff going on. I mean, there's always something to be done, I feel like. And even just keeping it crochet centric, I have piles of whips, I feel like, all the time. And it's, if you're random on here and you're not, if you don't know what a whip is, a whip is a work in progress. It's not a whip like we have whips. Okay. Don't go
Melly
there.
has piles of whips.
Piles of whips, everyone.
Piles of projects that are in progress.
Yes. Works in progress. I have granny squares everywhere. I have a blanket. I feel like I have at least one major blanket I need to finish. I have little sewing projects that I finally need to get my new sewing machine set up so I can sew liners for bags. And that's my new...
because we can't just focus on one area. We got to branch out. We have to have side quests, main hobbies, side quests.
Constantly. Yeah. If you're listening to this in mid-February, my current side quest was working through an extension of my Chloe blanket pattern. And I went ahead and decided, sure, let's make a scarf. Yep. And I did that. And it's actually 2 scarves in one pattern. So it's mid-February, hopefully it's been released or is releasing very soon. So go make a scarf. Okay, guys, because it's scarf season. Yep. But it's like, that's what I'm talking about. Like the whips just kind of build on themselves and they grow.
Let me plug your pattern. Hey, I feel like I was going to say, I can contest that the Chloe scarf works up so quickly and the square itself is such a quick square that you'll have a scarf in an afternoon. I guarantee it.
I believe that. I can agree. I will actually agree with you. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. I did a good thing. I usually don't boast my own stuff. I usually don't do that. That's not my thing, but I'm trying to be better.
Well done.
Trying to be better. What else?
We're not the kind of podcast that has sound effects, but if we did, I'd hit an applause sound effects right there. There we go. That's why we don't have sound effects.
That's exactly why. I'm fully capable of this on my own. I mean, I'm looking behind me and I have just baskets of whips, but I've also learned I used to be overwhelmed by them. And now I look at them and I'm like, these are just little things that bring me joy. I think we've talked about how we like to start things. It's really fun to start things. And sometimes we just get distracted by shiny new things and we're just excitable and we can't help it. I mean, you had, I think you mentioned the other day that you had another wearable you were working on. Like we talked about, you made a wearable in the last episode and you were making that and everything, but didn't you mention to me that you had another one you were making?
Oh, so we're going to bring it back to the Scrappy-thon from whenever that was. I got so addicted in that one. I instantly started another Scrappy, and that's been a work in progress for over a year now. The colors make me so happy though. So I'm using the Karen, is it the Karen Halo Cakes?
Oh, the fuzzy
whatever
stuff.
Whatever the one is fuzzy. It's it's
Halo.
like the latte
Halo-rama.
cakes.
Halo-rama, I think is what it's called.
Maybe, yeah. It's fuzzy like the latte cakes, but it's got a color. Anyways, the colors are so 90s.
Yes.
And it makes me so happy. It's like a trapper keeper come to life. So I did actually, when we were doing the Juliet pattern test for you, I used the same colors for a little Juliet blanket.
Yep.
And so that is nowhere close to done.
Hence it being the
But
whip.
when I work on it, I'm very happy. And eventually, when I can wear it, I will be even happier.
So it's for you. It's a personal project then.
It is a personal project, yes.
Good for you.
Yep.
Good for you.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So this may not seem like a natural progression, but we talk about groups and stuff, and was thinking about how we met. And I have this thing where like people will tell me they remember when they met me. And I don't mean this to sound crazy or up on myself, but I know a lot of people in the community, right? Like I just am that personality that I feel like I just know a lot of people. And I can't always place what test did we meet in? Blah, blah, blah. What is this? Do you remember? Because I remember being in a test with you when with Kaylee with Hobbs and Stitches.
First of all,
and then
you were in so many tests. I don't know how you remember. I feel like there were so many tests we were in together. But we definitely met in a test. Was it Kaylee? I don't think it was Kaylee. Did you test the Baby Faith, Kaylee's Baby Faith?
No, because the first one I did for Kaylee was her unicorn.
No. Oh, okay.
It was the Sophie
I did
unicorn,
Baby Faith. I did the Mini Luna Moon.
Nope, I didn't do that one. This must have we must have done
Peanut Pup. Did you do Peanut Pup?
Teeny's Peanut. Yes.
Peanut Pup. Yes.
Oh, Peanut Pup was so
that
cute.
must have been the first one then.
Okay.
And then you were in every other single test I was in thereafter because you just did everything.
Well, in 2024.
The question I have is, how did you get picked for everything? How did you know, I applied for so many things and I did not get picked for as many as you. Bribery. You heard it here first, folks. Bribery. There we go.
You know what? I think I counted it up in 2024 from like end of February, early March, when I started testing, it became a thing and I applied for everything. And I think I ended up testing that year about 125, 127 different patterns, which is insanity when you think about it. I didn't even do the whole year.
Insane. Never mind just the number of pattern tests you were in. That's multiple pattern tests per week, given that there's 52 weeks in a year. The yarn, the materials alone, and then like, what did you do with all of them? Are they just in a basket somewhere?
Like the projects?
Yes.
I've donated some to missions.
I love that. All right.
But and I did do one or two markets where I sold some stuff, but I have a pile. I've got to donate some more stuff. I guess getting picked though, I mean, we could do a whole episode on how to get picked as a tester. Yeah. So I won't go too into that. But I mean, I think it came down to I'm a photographer outside. You said you were an occupational therapist. Well, my origin is truly photography. That's where my job lies. And
which is why your Instagram is so beautiful.
Thank you. So I think I did have a bit of a leg up on the fact that if I take a picture of something, I can make it really pretty. And that's, of course, huge in advertising and promoting something. It makes pretty pictures make us want to buy things, right? I mean, so it shows the best side of things. And I was blessed to do so many beautiful patterns for people. And I just got to take pretty pictures of them. I was like living the dream. But I did slow down in 2025 and I started, doing the whole pattern design thing about
because
mid-year.
You were making your own. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I was making my own. Now I'm just busy in a different way.
Can we really consider that slowing down, or is it just a different type of speed?
It's a different type of speed. It's okay. But at least I don't pattern test like 11 things at one time anymore.
Yeah. So, hey, let's back up. So we met during the peanut pattern test, which was cool. Yeah. You were a little forward. It threw me off, but it stuck, and I'm okay with it. But how did you get started with pattern tests? So for me, anyways, my story is super short. I glitched because nothing I say is ever super short, and I wasn't.
It's cute that you think
so, but then I had to just acknowledge that. No, I wish I desire to be quick. I'm not quick. Anyways, my first pattern test was in the beginning of 2023. I had started an Instagram before that, the year before, in January 22, because I had taken a leave from work. I was really stressed out, and I was just home, and I was knitting all the time. Knitting socks. If you go all the way back on my grid on Instagram, there are videos of me casting on with these tiny little. I still love knitting. It's just crochet is faster and it's more fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, so started that, and then a friend of mine was telling me, "Oh, there are patterns on Instagram," because I just expressly used Pinterest, and so I started looking for crochet patterns, and then saw pattern tests, and I was like, what the heck? So I tested a pattern. My first pattern I ever tested was a mermaid pattern in January of 2023, and then we met in 2023, but in the peanut pup test.
It would have been, it was 2024. Peanut pup was 2024.
Fudge.
Promise. It's okay. It's okay. The last 3 years have like run together. I have to remind myself, was it 2023? It was 2024. It would have been probably like March or something. I'd have to look back for sure. But
I'm not going to be able to finish this episode now because I'm going to be so stuck on dates. Whatever.
You can do it.
Okay, so I joined Instagram. I was knitting. Then I tested a pattern, and then I met Melly. The end. I was just super short. Oh my God.
Wow. You can be concise.
What
just happened?
Okay. I don't know, but it's your turn. So how did you get into pattern testing?
Okay, so I've been crocheting for a very long time, like a couple of decades. Yeah. And I think I picked up a blanket in like January, because often if you don't crochet or you do it kind of intermittently, I feel like you can relate to this, that you pick up crocheting in the wintertime. It's just cozy.
Oh, yeah.
And you're usually not as busy, right? Like it's your...
So in addition to everything else that I've mentioned, I also love paper crafts. I used to do scrapbooking and card making and whatever. That was always my summer, and crochet was always my winter. And now it's no longer separated. But yes, it's a winter project.
But I think for me, it always was just something I like, because I make blankets. My thing was always blankets. So making blankets when it's cozy in the wintertime, that's just what you think of. So I picked up a blanket that I had been working on for a while. It was a thick and quick blanket, but not quick because it was huge. But I couldn't afford to buy all the yarn for it, because I think I had to use like 14 skeins, 17 skeins of yarn to make this blanket. So I was buying it in degrees, right? Like I didn't want to just spend $200 on yarn for this blanket.
Why not?
I own this blanket now. It is for me, okay? And it's beautiful.
Good.
It's one of my
favorites. Do you
favorites.
still have it? Oh,
I do. I have it. It hangs.
You should post a picture of it. That'd be fun.
If you go way back to the beginning, it's the gray one, the really big gray one that I posted. So I thought to myself, maybe I should like create an Instagram account just for an outlet for myself. And I was sitting on the couch. I literally remember this day, and I was trying to come up with names, trying to be cute and clever. And I'm like, well, what about like Melissa made that? So if like somebody asks someone, hey, where did you get that? Oh, Melissa made that. I'm like, I think that's clever. Let's go with that.
I love it.
So aside from the underscores that are in my name, it's absolutely perfect. Now if only it said Melly made that, but it's fine. We'll go with
No, don't change it. It's perfect.
No, we're not changing it.
Listen, my Instagram handle doesn't even match my business name, so whatever.
Yeah. So how I got into the pattern testing was about a month later. I started seeing the algorithm started showing me stuff, and I'm like, this is a thing? People do pattern tests? Yeah. And so I applied for them, and the very first one I got was for Stuck on You Crochet, and it was her sunshine blanket. And I will forever, I'm still friends with Allie. She's such a beautiful person. And and it was appropriate that it was like a little blanket. Yeah. And I made that, and then I started getting into plushies, which I'd never made before. Failed miserably on a couple of them. Did it inside out. Totally messed up.
Okay, pause. Hang on. Tangent time, because the very first time, so I swore off blanket yarn. I swore off chenille yarn. I looked at that stuff with such judgment in my eyes. I was like, look at the, I know why people are using this yarn, because it works up so quick. It's so thick. That doesn't take any, I was so judgy. I regret it now. And so I had bought the amount of blanket yarn I have is ridiculous. Anyway, so apologies, I'm eating my words. But I decided before I even did pattern tests, I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll try this plushie thing. Went to Michael's, picked up some, I think it was Sweet Snuggles Light. Found a free pattern for a bunny. I started on the limbs. They came out okay. The body, okay. Things were working up okay. Got to the head. And again, no plushie experience, especially not with that yarn. Yeah. I had done a couple of three-dimensional things with cotton yarn back way before I was on Instagram. And never wanted to do that again because tiny hook, stiff yarn, hurt my hand. Worked up really slow. So anyways, didn't realize anything about face shaping. So I made this bunny, and it was just the most, I will not post a picture of it. Anyways, my sweet girl came by, and as I was finishing up, and she was like, look at that, it's so beautiful. And I was like, sweetie, it's yours.
Oh my gosh. So the same thing happened with my daughter.
Cracks me up. Oh,
she still has
because
it.
this thing that I don't love the way it looks, but it's in my house. It's still in my house, and she loves it. Named it Blue. It's fine.
My daughter named hers, and she's like, "No, mommy, you can never get rid of it. I love it." Yeah. I'm like, "Do you love it because it's ugly? Is that why you feel pity on it? Like, what? You are such a nice person."
It's just a reminder of how terrible it was when I started.
I feel so bad that I produced something that wasn't as good as I can be capable of now to someone, and I'm like, "Gosh, I'd let them down. I feel like I need a redo or something. I should go buy the pattern." But that's the grace of the community, right? Like they probably recognize
and growth, right? Yes. Nobody's perfect at everything the second they start. So you got to start somewhere.
I feel like that's almost like what you just said about like chenille and blanket yarn. That's one of those fiber opinion things, people love certain yarns, and some people are like, "I will not touch this ever," and then some people are like, "I can only use worsted, don't show me that." Like, I'm really chenille yarn, I'm not it breaks.
Let's do an episode about fibers. That'll be fun.
Oh yeah,
because that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff.
That won't bring opinions out of anyone at all.
But you know what? I think it's a beautiful thing that everybody has their unique opinions, because that's why there's so many different types of fibers, which is great. I just don't give me a yarn that sheds, please, because I can't handle that. I will glitch. So did we finish? Tangents, we mentioned it already, but did we finish up how you ended up testing? We got through that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I got into kind of lucked out with some great designers at the beginning. I mean, I tested for Teeny. I tested for Allie, like I said. I tested for Pretty and Pate, for Pre. I mean, I don't know how I landed like such amazing friends right off the bat, but I just got real blessed. The timing was just so good. And then after that, I just kind of proved myself that I could naturally, I just like to naturally hype people up. It's not something I really like, I need to really put on my hype helmet today.
I think some of it too is your personality, which I love, because I remember the first time that you messaged me, I think it was separately. I think it was outside of a tester chat, and maybe you replied to something I posted on stories or a comment or something, and just the message you sent me was just like we had already been friends for 3 months,
knew each other,
and I'm just like, who is this girl? Maybe she's confusing me for somebody else. Because the tone in her message is just so friendly, and then I was like, I'm glad I went with it. Sometimes a little standoffish. I'm like, I don't know that I am who you think I am, but okay. But I went with it, and here we are a couple of years later, which is great. But that was hysterical and threw me off. So I'm sure that contributes also, because you're a great tester to have in a tester chat. So
I appreciate that. I think I'm very. I always say, I get this from my dad. I could literally make friends with a wall. Like I will be in line at amusement parks, and we'll start asking people, so where you're visiting from, and what are you doing? What do you plan to do first? Or we come here all the time. Can I give you some advice on like where the best? I can't help it.
If I ever go to a museum and I see a person talking to a wall, it's you.
It's totally me. I have told that wall everything it needs to know to help it in life and to proceed with caution and with also confidence. There's some good things there.
God. I think our with coffee for our podcast doesn't work, because I almost just had a spit take. So
I have to be very careful.
Beverage with caution.
Bevy with caution. That's going to be like, a tagline. Just bevy with caution. God. Sip with caution, people.
So why are we still so addicted to this community? What do we love about it? What's amazing?
Just like I said about the testers, the groups are addicting in themselves, I think. Just the camaraderie and the fact that we're over here just playing with fibers and putting yarn into different shapes. And it's so silly sounding when you say it like that, but it's so much more.
It's easy to minimize, but it's so cool.
It is. I feel like when we're in groups together, the majority of people, I would say, are moms or are at least wives. There are some younger ones who aren't married yet, but they still relate.
Yeah, not a requirement, but
it's probably 98.5% women. We've never had men in our chat.
Somebody's going to fact check that stat, I'm sure.
You are welcome. That is a Melly fact check that's not been authenticated.
Yes,
but
it is not.
It's 100% of my chats have not had men in them, though. Let's put it that way. So that's a true stat that I know of. Let's not make that weird.
Although I feel like I saw the Crochet Carpenter in one of your mats at one point.
Not in one of my mats, no. I chat with him sometimes, but he doesn't follow me yet. So
then maybe it's somebody else. Well, I could be making it up. Anyway,
he's very nice though. He's very nice. He's actually messaged me about some things before. Like we were recently part of the Yarny Awards together, which was so cool. And super cool. I congratulated him. He congratulated me, and I was like, I can't believe I'm in this. Blah blah blah. And he's like, me either. I'm like, shut up, you neither. You're so talented. Like whatever. So he's a very nice, kind of humble person. So that was, but he doesn't follow me. So we're going to have to fix that, I think. So yeah, I mean, why we're addicted, I spend a lot of my time during the day in groups, and that can be like, get off your phone, get off social. But I don't have a lot of people that I just go out for coffee with in person. You know, these people are my go out with coffee people. It's my outlet. It's me having friends online. It's like we grew up and it's like, don't talk to people, don't talk to strangers online. That's all I do. It felt
so weird at first as I started forming friendships, and I was like, is it real? I would talk to my coworkers and my friends. I'd be like, so my Instagram friends, I'm like, I promise you they're on the other end of this connection. They're not just in my head. They do exist. They have a grid.
Well, we have proof. We have proof because we met each other in person in October. Yeah,
we have picture for like proof. 3.5 whole hours.
Yeah, it was very, very much too quick. And I plan to come back to New England and see you. But it was a nice little group meetup of like 7 or 8 of us. I think it was 8 of us. And that was super cool. So it is true that you can meet people on the internet. If people can go on Tinder and find dates, I think we can go on the crochet community and find lasting friendships.
I do agree. You know, I love this Instagram community, this crochet community on Instagram so much for the camaraderie, the connection, the support, the creativity is endless. I am so inspired constantly by the unending creativity of these people that, you know, and it's not just designers either. And there's some fantastic designers out there, but it's also the people that are, you know, buying the patterns and then, you know, stitching them up in a different colorway or making slight modifications and, you know, customizing them to make them. It's so creative. I mean, I was enamored with Pinterest when it came out, and
me too.
That was my go-to for everything. Yeah. And it pales in comparison. I know there's a lot of stuff that people post on Instagram now, also on Pinterest, but just and then the fact that you can, you know, connect. I think that I was always a bit of I don't know how else to say it, like a window shopper, but like I would go on, I would post a couple of my things, and I would see things that other people posted. I would like them, and that was it. And it wasn't really until I started, you know, responding to stories or commenting on posts, which was just not my nature.
Right.
I liked to keep to myself and just admire from a distance. And then I started noticing the response to, you know, my comments of like, this is amazing, or gosh, I really love your colors, or wow, this is really so cool. And people would take the time to then respond, thank you so much, or that's so meaningful. I was like, this is really interactive and such a wonderful place to be positive and bring positivity. And,
absolutely.
And I know that there's dark sides to everything, and I don't want to not acknowledge that, but I think it is what you make of it, and you know, choosing to bring the positivity and you know, the connection and the opportunity. And I wish I spent a little less time on it, because that would be good for my personal life, but I also like my family and like being a real person in a real world. But also it's hard because I also feel so grateful for the connections that I've built, the friendships that I've built.
I feel like
it's
the community,
so awesome.
The community doesn't just inspire me as a creator. It helps me actually grow as a woman and as a friend. And I'm inspired and encouraged that I'm not alone in a lot of things. I mean, let me just tell you, like in our mats, we talk about them being funny, and we have, you know, it's 18 and up. The reason things are like that is because we are women who are talking about real women things sometimes, and it gets real. And we realize, oh my God, you're going through that too. Oh my gosh, you went through that. Yeah. You realize that it's nice to be related to some, like relatable to someone else, and that you don't feel all alone in the world. Like, oh, I went through that and I'm all alone. Well, you're actually not. There's a whole core of people who've gone through the same thing.
And so, you know what? Our timer went off. I think it's a fool's errand keeping us to a half an hour, but we're going to do our best. But one thing I want to add on that, as I find myself saying this at work pretty consistently, because, you know, people come into the hospital and they don't know who they're with, and, you know, a bunch of strangers, and they come to group and we start talking about things. And I'll tell you more about the groups, the kind of groups I run later. They're not the ones that you see in the movies, but or like on SNL where they're poking fun and whatever. Though those are hilarious and I enjoy them. But I'll say to them, I was like, you know, it's oftentimes harder to, you know, if you're going through a tough time, to open up to people that are in your close social circle, because there's some fears there. There's fear of judgment. There's fear of, you know, who's this going to get back to, and sometimes it can feel easier to open up in front of a group of strangers. So I'll say that in group, and it does apply to Instagram too. I think, you know, sometimes the things that people are struggling with, it's easier to connect with a group of people that they are, you know, that they know are supportive, right? And the number of times in the groups that, you know, somebody's going through a tough time that week and they say, you know, hey, if anybody has a free moment for some positive thoughts or some prayers or whatever, you know, however that lands for you, I could use some good vibes because this is going on. And then the outpouring of support, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, I joke that our mats are group therapy. I mean, it's like unofficial group therapy, you know. If you,
I don't help that because I kind of bring that vibe, but I do so willingly.
There's several people, though, I think, who've done that, you know, who have even background.
I'm not
kind
special.
Of thing.
I get it, Melly.
Oh my gosh. I just didn't want you to feel like it was your job. I'm sorry. You are special.
It's not.
There's really not that many, though. I mean, there's two that I can think of on the top of my head. I mean, we've done a what was it, last May? And I want to do it again.
Yes. We have to do that one again. That was my favorite.
We did the mental awareness mat.
Mental health awareness,
Yep, and it was
beautiful.
Fantastic. I think that I still go back and I rewatch that reel that I put together for the group where we all said it's called Worthy-thon. We did and we are worthy of. And everybody put on a piece of paper. I get chills thinking about it. It was just
I have goosebumps right now. Yes.
That is what, if there's any reel that talks about why we're addicted to this community, that is why, because those things we talk about, and that we are worthy of things, and we all built each other up so much in that group. I never wanted it to end.
I know. And I remember putting that together with you, and there was some concern that it was going to go to a place that wasn't suitable for a casual chat on Instagram, and none of that happened. It was just, the whole week was beautiful. Yeah. Oh gosh, that was one of my favorites.
We may have to do 2 weeks.
We do have to wrap this up.
We do.
So we wanted to kind of sign off in a silly way and talk about an unpopular fiber opinion. So let's see if we can keep this short and not turn this into a 45-minute podcast. Melly, you had one. What is your unpopular fiber opinion?
Okay, so because I've recently become a designer, I guess I can call myself that if I have 3 patterns out.
Noob. Love it.
I'm a noob. But because I have designed things, I see things from 2 perspectives now. As when I was just a consumer and making patterns and doing all that, I now see things from a designer aspect and perspective and things. So my thing is, I think I've heard people say, like, it seems like everybody is a designer now. Like, but
there's a lot of patterns out there. Yeah.
I think the question going around sometimes is, should everyone be a designer who puts something out? Is something worth being a design? And I think it's it is a frictiony opinion.
Yeah.
I have my own opinion about it. I don't know if I'm supposed to say, okay.
No,
so
let's go.
I think if you are going, this is not the I guess you could decide if this is an unpopular opinion. It's frictiony, but I think that if you're going to design something and put yourself out there, I think you shouldn't be lazy about it.
Okay.
And what I mean by lazy is, like, if you see something that's just super popular going around, it's trending, right? Like I don't even have to name anything. Just, something's trending, the time of year or whatever. Do not, in my opinion, jump on that bandwagon just because you think you can monetize it.
Got it.
If you are passionate about it and it's something you truly have joy doing and you're making, but you're bringing a unique perspective to something.
A new body shape or something.
Yeah, like just a little bit, just giving it your own flair. There's so many designers who do that, who have their own flair. I think if you can do that, absolutely you should bring something out and call yourself a designer, but don't. My big thing, and it may be an unpopular opinion, but just don't be lazy. Don't phone it in. Don't be lazy about it. You know, really give it some thought and make it special, because when you do that, other people feel it who are going to consume that and purchase that and buy into that with you. They're not going to feel like you're just kind of faking it till you make it or phoning it all in.
And I think that's different than following trends. I think following trends is fine, and that's what you were speaking to. So if there's a trend and you want to jump on the trend bandwagon, you have a new take to bring to it. You've got a slightly different body style, or you know, right? But if it's just like, oh, somebody did this, I can do this too, and the copycat type thing. But I really, you know, I think for the most part I agree with you. I say that cautiously because I don't know that I have everything you just said in my head. But I would like the design space to be inclusive. I never thought I would design stuff. I know I was hesitant to come out with a design because I didn't think I could handle if my design got copied or, you know, posted on a pirated website or something. And then I just kind of had a bit of an acceptance conversation with myself of like, listen, if that's how somebody wants to spend their time and they want to do that with my pattern, then so be it. This isn't a main gig for me. It's not right. I would never do that to somebody else. But I think a design space, I think it should be inclusive, right? Like I don't think it should be a club that you've got to prove yourself to get into.
Absolutely
because
not.
Honestly, I don't think I would get in. You know? And are my patterns perfect? No. Do I do the best that I can with what I have? Yes. Are they going to be better the more that I make? Sure. That's how anybody grows, right? So
I think too, I want to also tag on to that I'm not over here judging every pattern that comes, every new pattern.
Of course not. No.
I may be like, oh, it's another insert whatever here. But listen, if you're passionate about it and you're doing it with the best of intentions and you're not trying to copy people, you're doing it because I just love making this. I just enjoy doing this. Don't be scared. This is not me saying it so you like second guess what your purpose in this community is. But I do think that there's two thought processes to where you just do it because everybody's doing it. And maybe but I think that when you do stuff and that's in a creative space, there's passion behind it. And if you have a passion for it, start talking to people in the community about it and talk to those you trust and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. And you're a trusted person that I know has designed. I'd love to know what your thoughts are, you know, and do you think that do you think that in your experience, this would be too close to something someone else has done? I'll tell you right now, I'm someone who will tell you yes or no and encourage you and foster you to be unique, you know? So definitely don't walk away saying, oh, Melly has this unpopular opinion that people shouldn't design. That is so not true. No. I was someone who said I'd never design. So if I can do it, you can do it is my point. Is my point, you know? Just do your own thing and make a name for yourself.
What is it? Do your due diligence, right? Or,
I
so
think that it can...
Are we... Go ahead.
Oh, I think that can be like the opinion though, that like there's maybe too many designers, but that's the unpopular opinion. Is there or isn't there?
You know, I think if I think the only reason I would say that there's too many designers is because when I pop on Etsy and I'm looking for a good design, and I search for something and then I got to sort through 6,000 different options, I get overwhelmed. But other than that, you know, are we inviting people to share their thoughts on this and if there's a comment space?
I'm gonna let y'all be kind.
All right.
And there's a that to comment without attacking those that have created have created this podcast and this topic. Please do not come after us. Opinions are great and everybody has one. And there's a way to present them that's super nice. And guess what? If you're not nice, I can't promise your comment will be there in the morning.
You know what? We are setting out to create and maintain an encouraging and
positive
welcoming
space.
And authentic space.
Yes.
So, and well, you know, and I only hesitate to say positive space because you know what? We don't want toxic positivity, right? But we don't want malicious or
Absolutely not.
drama stirring type things either.
This is
I don't
not
know. I'm going to
clickbait.
stop there. I'm not inviting certain things.
Yeah,
into
this is not
Anywho,
clickbait, you
we
guys.
are at
We're
40
over.
minutes.
We're
so
over, and we need to stop.
wrap this up. Okay, until next time, friends, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here. Melly, thanks for another good chat.
Absolutely. See you
All
later
right,
next
take care,
time.
guys.